Russia may launch a nuclear strike against Ukraine. Under what conditions would Putin do this? The risk of Moscow's nuclear gamble has decreased because of how Trump has started acting towards Russia. But the threat of a nuclear strike still remains. And you can find more information in our report. My name is Yevhen Sirov. This is the Glavred channel. Subscribe and leave a like. Let's get started. The nuclear issue has become relevant in the world. Putin is testing his Burevestnik. Missiles 9M729 capable of carrying a nuclear warhead are hitting Ukraine. At the same time, against the backdrop of a meeting with Xi Jinping, Trump instructs the Pentagon to immediately conduct nuclear tests. And before that, in September, at a parade, Xi boasted about a nuclear missile capable of circling the entire planet. Why is this happening, and where could this nuclear game lead the world? First of all, we are returning to a mode of confrontation between the US and Russia reminiscent of the Cold War. The initiator of this, of course, was Russia. It was the first to start practicing hostile rhetoric and positioning itself as an outright antagonist to the West, the US, and Europe. It was precisely this that triggered the current escalation, which had been slowly unfolding since Putin's Munich speech in 2007 up to today's intense confrontation. What is new in our time is that the United States, which until recently did not respond to Russia's attempts at escalation, have now begun to respond. First, Trump sent American nuclear-powered submarines to the shores of Russia, clearly demonstrating a significant show of military strength. Now, for the first time in 30 years, he has initiated nuclear tests, a move not seen in decades. This marks a new phase in the ongoing confrontation between the United States and Russia. Secondly, nuclear weapons have become one of the most important trump cards in the current standoff. This is a lever of pressure that has not been used until now. But because of the fact that someone was the first to use it, the others simply had really no choice but to join in. Be that as it may, Trump's stance toward Russia has indeed become tougher. In the summer, in response to Medvedev's statements, Trump said that he had sent American submarines to the Russian coast. This was an important element of his positioning in this conflict, which was steadily unfolding before our eyes, starting from the middle of summer. Trump's position was gradually becoming tougher. In particular, this is evidenced by steps such as renaming the U.S. Department of Defense to the Department of War, Trump gathering all the generals, and so on. Trump began to implement militarization as an element of his policy. And the increasingly strong emphasis on nuclear issues fits into this overall approach. As strange as it may sound, the participation of Trump and the US in this issue, notably the fact that Americans began to respond symmetrically to Russian nuclear threats with their own threats, is a factor that stabilizes the situation and actually reduces the risks.